My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. Next up at UFC Vegas 25, we have KB Bhullar versus Andreas Michailidis. And this is a fun fight, at least for me, because I have Michailidis in my lineup. So Dan, I'll go to you first. What are your thoughts here? How do you feel about this significant strike line? Do you think the odds are solid? That's a ton of money. It's funny because the odds and DraftKings both say Michailidis is the favorite, but minus 250. All right, he's a 2-1 favorite. $9,100 is like, no, he's going to take his head off. So he is expensive. But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll start with KB Bhullar. So, he's 0-1 in the UFC. He lost his debut to Tom Breeze, who's tough. He had an 8-fight run prior to that, but I don't know the level of competition obviously was not UFC caliber. He looks like a good, fluent, loose striker, but again, he keeps his hands low, and defensively, he just looks like a liability. He does like to use his long reach. He ate some shots in the exchanges early in that fight and looked really athletic, despite kind of the lack of defense. But what has me most concerned is he ended up getting KO'd with, it was a power jab, but at the end of the day, it was a jab, and it dropped him.
There wasn't much power behind that jab.
Yeah, but in fairness to him, wasn't he rocked before that jab though?
He was a little hurt, but there was, that was the jab, and it looked like to me a movie scene. It was a jab, and it was like this on a jab. It was very weird, very weird.
Yeah, so he went down. I think he took that fight short notice too.
He did.
In fairness to him, but. That has me a little concerned against Michailidis, who's, also 0-1 in the UFC, but I think a very different 0-1 than KB Bhullar is. So, he lost his debut to Modesta Bukauskas. He's a very good striker from what I saw. Hard kicks, good leg and calf kicks, moves really well for a light heavyweight. He has a bad habit of going straight back. I don't think that's going to be a problem in this fight necessarily, but I did notice he goes straight back a lot in fights. But where I think he'll shine is that the punches he does throw are heavy looping shots. He rocked Bukauskas a couple times. He was winning the round and then shot a takedown. It was actually really smart. He was like showing some pretty good fight IQ. He was winning a good round, a close round, competitive round. Closed it with a takedown, and he got those weird elbows that, I don't know. I watched the replay a few times.
They were illegal.
Yeah, they were right. They were close. They might've been, they might've not, but either way, he thought they were. I think in his mind, he knew they were, and he was either actually really hurt or trying to sell it a little bit, maybe get a point, and they opened the cage door. I felt terrible for him because it was not his fault. Like he was kind of, A, either really hurt, or B, selling the illegal headshots. And then he went to go sit back and the door wasn't there and the ref stopped the fight. Like he probably would have gone up and won the rest of that fight. So it was a very, very strange stoppage. It just looked weird when you watched it. But at any rate, prior to that, he looked very good. So I think he should win this fight. He's had the tougher competition. Like I said, he looked great in the fight before that kind of freak cage door accident. And I think the big thing will be his power and the way he throws his shots. I think Bhullar's hands are down a lot. I think he's going to get hit with a big shot. And Michailidis already has 3 first-round knockouts before his last fight. So I'm also picking him in DraftKings. He's expensive for $9,100, but I think he's going to get a finish in this fight. I think he'll be worth it. So I'm taking him in DraftKings. I'm picking him to win the fight. And then this is an interesting one for more or less.
Yeah, this line's like rock solid.
Well, I think I'm going to go less and just think that I'm assuming that Michailidis is going to land that big shot sooner rather than later. So that would be my play right now.
That's a great move.
Less is solid on that line. I was also thinking more for KB Bhullar and less for Michailidis. But less is solid if you think there's a stoppage there. So that is an interesting line. And if you want to play that line, there is a link at the bottom of this beautiful graphic that Jacob put together and a promo code. And if you hit the line, you triple your money. Jacob, what are your thoughts on this fight? And tell me why you have KB Bhullar in your lineup.
He is not in my lineup. I have Andreas in my lineup. And I would definitely take the less on this because I think it's an early stoppage. You mentioned Andreas's last 3 fights were first round stoppages. Before that, there was another first round. There was another first round before that, then another first round, then another. So, I mean, the guy he's just known for first round stoppages. I was debating. I had Andreas in my lineup, and then I had him out, and then I had him in, then I had him out. But I think in DraftKings, if you really want to win that big money, you got to chase those early stoppages. And he's definitely game for that early stoppage, especially with that level of competition. You know, KB, we mentioned that jab. I think the first time, the reason I would take the less in this is I think the first time that KB, because he does have that kind of karate stance and he's very fluid with switching stances. So he definitely looks the part, but it's just like the speed isn't there. The head movement isn't there. And I think that first time he gets countered, he's going to be like, uh-oh. And I don't think he's going to throw much after that because he's going to be scared. Andreas is going to come forward and catch him. So Andreas is in my lineup. And then, yeah, that's it. I would take the less loss on the more or less. And, minus 250. I think I'd rather put that on like an inside the distance and try to get better odds than that. But
a lotto ticket.
I like
so
Andreas.
You do have Michailidis in your lineup or no?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. All 3 of us do. Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, so these lines move, these monkey knife fight lines move as people come in, as they play those games, those lines move. So I think we're all pretty confident in the stoppage here. If you want to hit the less and you want to make some good money, hit that line as soon as you watch this video because it will move.
I'm actually going to start putting in my my picks on monkey knife fight right now as we're talking. Try to get in before these lines swing.
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea. So check out the promo code. Check out the link below. If you have not played Monkey Knife Fight daily prop games, you will be very impressed and have a ton of fun.
Use the promo code.
All right. People are having a hard time with the promo code WWP. It's like WWE, except a P at the end instead.
That's very good. That's very good. That was very good.
You'll never forget now.
We just want to give a giant thank you to all of our members and to everybody who donated this week, specifically Jesse Correa, Dunchichi, Chris Jory, David Raymond, Chris Toronto, Ansi Music, and Jill Gretka. Thank you all very, very much. If anybody is interested in becoming a member, there is a join button down below. You'll get a fancy little crown in the comment section. If you're interested in sharing the wealth from all of our fantastic picks, there's a donation link in the description below. Thank you all very, very much for the support. It is much appreciated, and everything goes right back in this channel to give you the best possible production and best picks on the planet.
Definitely appreciate all you guys watching. Love interacting with you guys in the comments. So keep writing comments. We'll keep going back and forth. Jacob and I will keep arguing, or Jacob and Angelo will keep arguing. But really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching.
Get your crowns.
Before you go, check out the description below. In there, we have links to our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, and more importantly, to our DraftKings League. Check out the league, join the league, participate in the contests, and as we get going and as you start winning, we're going to start handing out gift cards and participating and doing things like that. So check those out. Every week, there are drops on every fight card. So make sure you check out this channel and our social media on Saturday before the fights start so that you have our most updated lineups and picks.